I have taken a number of calls tonight, but notably I heard from my good friends Tom Tancredo, from Scott Gessler, and from Mike Kopp. And ladies and gentlemen, we are a team. I want to thank them for the campaigns they ran, spirited campaigns certainly, but importantly, it was always about who the real opponent in this was. It was John Hickenlooper, his failure to lead. Colorado can do better, and we're about to get better. It's especially gratifying for me to have my friend Steve up here. As all of you know, I think Steve wanted this job too. And it's when you run spirited campaigns and you've got quality people like Steve is, and then we come together afterwards, it's just the healthiest thing. And the Republican Party's that way. I've got to mention as well our good friend Senator Greg Brophy also competed for this. And Greg also called tonight to wish me his best. Heard from a couple of governors around the country who are pretty excited right now, too. Listen, many of you have already been very kind and congratulated the two of us for doing this. But let me say in all sincerity, this is a team effort. And we know that. We have had hundreds. I suppose we're into the thousands now of volunteers. Many of you right here, I know that, have been on phones, have been walking neighborhoods, have been talking to your friends, written checks. This is a team effort, and on behalf of Claudia, our whole family, let me thank you again. God bless you. Thank you. Just a few minutes of your time, if I might. Colorado, a reflection from my heart. Colorado is a special place, of course, to everybody. But for a guy who, this is my home, a third generation on my dad's side, fifth on my mom's, to be standing in front of you tonight as the nominee of your party, this is enormously humbling. I take this challenge very, very seriously. And the reason Claudia and I got in this is frankly because Colorado is such a great state, a state that's always been big enough, not only for our dreams, but your dreams as well. Isn't that why we're all here? But you know, as I travel around the state and I ask people, how are you doing? And a lot of people say, well, okay. Some will say good, and that's true. Some are doing okay and good. But when was good ever good enough for Colorado? We're great. This is the state that is a great state. This is the envy of the nation. But lately, it hasn't been quite so, has it? On John Hickenlooper's watch, economic opportunity in Colorado has gone from number 2 in the nation to number 22. Ladies and gentlemen, we're better than this. That's the state I see. I see a Colorado like we have always had, where everybody who wants a job can find not only work, but a dignified career, an opportunity to build up, not just tear down, not just get along. A great state full of opportunity, where every child that can learn has a full opportunity to learn, and we don't leave any of our children behind. That's the kind of state this has always been. A state that embraces our blessings and our greatness, not punishes and holds people back. When I talk to people, I say, what's your biggest problem? What's holding you back? It's government. Government's getting in the way. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference between living, just kind of getting along, and living free. Freedom, that's what we need in Colorado. That's what we need in America today. Freedom from government. Ronald Reagan told us that when government increases, liberty necessarily decreases. It contracts. Now, how much wiser words could we find? But what have we been dealing with of late? More and more government. Renewable energy mandates that rural Colorado said, we don't want them. We don't want them. We've lost Second Amendment rights, a freedom to defend ourselves. And even the governor who signed the bill said, oh, those were stupid bills. Well, why did you sign them? Why did you sign them? And when he does act, sometimes he makes a mistake, and sometimes he fails to act completely, like with Nathan Dunlap. Listen. Listen. If he won't lead, if he won't enforce the laws of the state of Colorado, I will, and Nathan Dunlap will see justice served. Ladies and gentlemen, liberty and freedom made this great nation. Liberty and freedom made this state the envy of this great nation. And liberty and individual freedom will bring us back to our greatness. On day one, I'll freeze all non-essential regulation. We'll just stop. We'll go through every agency, every function of government, every rule, every regulation with a singular focus, a singular question. Is it pro-freedom? Is it pro-individual opportunity? Does it build up? Does it trust in individuals? Or does it deny individuals? And if it denies them, what the heck are we doing it for? We'll get rid of it. We'll get government out of your way. Here's the question that is really on your ballot this fall. This is the question. Do you trust in people or do you trust in government? We've had a, you bet. People. Say it again. People. That's what government of, by, and for the people has always been about. It's been about people. Now that's where I grew up. Those are the principles I live by. That's why that's why I penned something we call Liberty's Promise. It's my pledge to you. Thank you. It's my pledge to you. We'll defend your constitutional rights. We'll reestablish state sovereignty. That 10th Amendment is there for a reason. We'll lift up our children and embrace parents. Who loves a child more than their mother and dad? Let's expand school choice and opportunity for our children. Instead of government seizing your property rights, whether that's your land, your water, your real assets, your natural resources, we'll push back on the federal government and we'll tell them we can take care of Colorado just fine, thank you. Your individual property rights, your right to own your American dream, we'll defend that. We won't take it away. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, my administration, this government will be about you. It'll be about empowering you. I grew up believing in the decency of people, the goodness of people. After all, aren't we created in that image and likeness of the Almighty who sent us here? The very definition of goodness He is. Now, if that's true, why would you think you've got to restrict and restrain and hold back and mistrust people? We ought to celebrate the goodness of people. Lift them up. You solve problems. You're not the problem. Government thinks you are. That's why they want to regulate you. Everything we think, do, say, manufacture, buy, sell, they want to regulate it. If they could tax and regulate your imagination, they'd do that too. Not me. Not me. Everything we do is going to be about you, your freedom, your opportunity, celebrating the decency, the genuineness, the goodness of you. When we do that, Colorado won't be middle of the pack. Colorado will no longer be just kind of getting by. Colorado will be what I always thought he was talking about when he said that shining city on the hill. I assumed he was looking uphill. Right here to Colorado. 'Cause I believed it couldn't get any better than this. And ladies and gentlemen, on my watch, I pledge to you I'll do everything in my power to make us that great again. God bless you. Thank you very much.